Fox Business Alert, the world's most valuable company is on a tear this year. Shares of Nvidia have soared 199% and account for 22% of the entire S&P's gains this year. The tech titan share price today has been both at a record, then dipping in the red, then up as investors parse through last night's third quarter earnings report. But the company's revenues do not lie. Nvidia's sales have increased every single quarter, and every quarter the company has beaten analyst estimates. So what does the future look like for the company? And perhaps more importantly, how is AI going to change the way all of us do our jobs? I spoke to Nvidia's top brass to talk about all of it, AI, and how he is shaping the new industrial revolution. Joining us now in a Fox Business exclusive is Nvidia founder and CEO Jensen Huang. Jensen, great to have you on the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Nice to see you, Liz. It's great to be here.
Great to have you. The superlatives used to describe not just your earnings, but your outlook ranged from, I was writing these down, full steam, full throttle, incredible. But the headline really emerges that you guys have a problem most CEOs would love to have. Demand for two of your products, right? Both your Hopper chip and the orders for your new Blackwell chip far exceed the supply you have. What's the most important step you guys are taking to speed up the process to fill these orders?
Well, first of all, I appreciate that. Hopper and Blackwell are two just magnificent computing systems. And what they've done is these two computing systems has really reinvented computing altogether. From software that was written by humans running on CPUs to now machine learning, creating these neural networks that make possible artificial intelligence running on our GPUs. And so as the world modernizes the data centers, $1 trillion of data centers around the world, the demand is just incredible. Mm-hmm. And so we're ramping both of these platforms incredibly hard. We had a record quarter this last quarter. We guided to a record quarter next quarter. We're going to go from $0 billion of Blackwell to many billions of dollars of Blackwell. And so it's going to be an incredible thing, but the demand is just incredible.
Yeah. I'm so interested to know some numbers. How big is the backlog for, I guess, both the Hopper and the Blackwell system, the successor that a lot of people want to see? Are you seeing any customer behavior, Jensen, that says, you know what, we're going to wait for the newer Blackwell model?
Well, people are modernizing their data centers, and so they just needs to get going. And what I advise people to do is that, and they are doing that, which is we're going to create new systems every single year. Buy what you need that year. There'll be something new that you can buy next year, and then you'll just cost average your way through. The reason why it's cost averaging is if we increase the performance every single year, effectively you're reducing your cost for any amount of computation that you want. Instead of the classical old data centers, we're going to, several $100 billion of capex each year will go into these machine learning based and AI based systems. And so we have hundreds of billions of dollars of IT systems that we're going to have to go build over the next several years.
I think the number's been put out there for all these companies, whether they are tech or just basic enterprise, ramping up and spending on AI is something like $350 billion. But let me tackle the hyperscalers first, meaning the 800-pound gorillas in the AI space who are desperate for your chips. Meta, Google, Microsoft, SoftBank. I would love to know how orders are filled, meaning who gets preference? I mean, does it go by who ordered first or by the size of the customer?
Well, if you don't place an order, it's hard for us to fulfill it. And so most of them have placed orders. We try to be fair with everyone so that they can all get their AI infrastructure up and running. We also make sure that their infrastructure is ready. And so between us and them, there's no sense shipping computers if the data center and the power and the readiness of the system is not there. And so we work very, very closely with all of our hyperscalers. We've been planning for this for some time. And I think at this point, everybody has demonstrated, everybody has stood up their AI infrastructure, the Grace Blackwell systems. I think OCI has shown pictures of it. Google has shown pictures of it. Dell and CoreWeave just showed a picture, I think it was last night. And And Satya at his conference announced that they're going to have previews for their customers here pretty soon, and they've got their system up and running. And so everybody's really proud of the systems they've stood up, and we're all just racing to get there.
Yeah, and we're talking about hundreds of thousands of these, and people are dying to get their hands on them. Can I just get some clarity on the question about the overheating? This report over the weekend, there was in the information this report that said that some of these were overheating. Can you just tell me if that was an issue? If it's true, was it an issue basically with the Blackwell chip design, a rack problem, or was it simply that the data centers were not built to the right specs?
It's a non thing. It's probably somebody who heard somebody doing engineering, integrating our systems into their data centers. In the beginning, there are all kinds of engineering issues, but these are normal things. We're just doing engineering. We know that the Grace Blackwell systems work, and we know that all of the technology now works because we now demonstrated 4 of them standing up. We have lots of them working at our company. We have lots of them working within our customers' companies, and so we're very confident, and we're in good shape with Grace Blackwell production ramp. But it's still, we have thousands of engineers doing, all kinds of things. So I'm not sure what they heard, but it's a non-thing.
Well, it's a long way from 32 years ago when you founded the company with just a few employees and a dream. And as you begin to really see this come to incredible fruition, at least when it comes to generative AI, I'm so interested to know about pricing. How do you view pricing? Because if you're having trouble, because you did say into few quarters for fiscal year 2026, that you would see some issues with filling these orders. How can you keep the price the same, and will it rise?
We always do pricing based on the value delivered. And so we're very rigorous with respect to the simulation of these AI factories. In a lot of ways, the way to think about this, Liz, is here's this machinery, this big, huge machinery, and you apply energy to it, and what comes out of it is AI. We call it generative AI. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like generating electricity in the last industrial revolution. And there are all these machinery, these large machinery called AC generators, and they produce electricity. We're now producing this miracle called artificial intelligence.
You said that you're transforming, and AI is transforming every industry, every company out there, all around the world. And we see that. We definitely see that. But you have some of the loudest voices now in Silicon Valley. I'm thinking Mark Andreessen, the venture capitalist from Andreessen Horowitz, saying AI has hit a wall, it's plateaued, it can't go further right now. And he named 2 reasons. He said due to both the lack of enough GPUs and then the training data. It's almost like he was pointing the finger at Nvidia, that you guys aren't getting these out quickly enough. What do you say to that?
Well, our demand is greater than our supply, and so we need to get more out. And so we work with thousands of startup companies, and they're called AI native companies. From the ground up, they're built to be an AI company. From the ground up, this is a company that would develop capabilities and new products and services that are made possible because of AI. And we're working with thousands of them, and it's hard to at this moment keep capacity and infrastructure available for every one of them. And so we're working super hard to get there as fast as we can, which is the reason why we're ramping Blackwell so hard. With respect to AI, there's a fair amount of discussion about scaling laws, and the scaling law basically says the larger the model, the more data that you train it with, and the more computing therefore you need, the more effective the AI becomes. And so that's we're kind of on our back foot with respect to the amount of demand that's out there, but we're running as fast as we can to get the supply out there.
Well, it feels like you're not on your back foot, that you are standing pretty tall and holding ground, because you are able to just crush it on earnings, and your outlook is pretty impressive too. You talked about growing customer bases in India, and obviously, you will have a situation where you have to hold back on China, depending on what the regulations are here in the United States. But I'm interested to know if you're hearing from the Middle East. They have had some real ambitions here.
Listen, in just about every single country, and it's sensible, they now realize that their nation's data, their language, whatever their language happens to be, Their language, their digital language encodes their nation and their people's knowledge, history, and culture. And they now realize that they have to take that digital data and turn it into their nation's intelligence. And that they can't wait for someone else to come do it for them, that they have to do it themselves. The success that we've enjoyed is largely in the United States. But over time, and very quickly, whether it's in the West or in the East, we're going to see just about every single country jumping onto this AI revolution, this age of AI.
As we finish up, what do you say to people who are very concerned about this? You hear them and they believe that AI is going to turn us into digital slaves and that the machines will rise and control all of us. You've had these discussions before. What's your gut reaction to that?
AI can do a lot of our tasks, but they can't do 100% of our jobs. That's the big idea. The idea that AI would somehow do 100% of somebody's job is very, very unlikely and quite frankly impractical for any time in the horizon. What is very likely is that AI will do 20, 30, 40% of 100% of the jobs in the world. So what that means is that AI is going to revolutionize and transform everybody's jobs. And it's really important that everybody should learn how to use AI. They're not going to lose their jobs to AI. They're going to lose their jobs if it happens. They're going to lose their jobs to someone who uses AI. And so that's the most practical way of thinking about it. And for the foreseeable future, that's absolutely going to be true. And jump on AI. I would encourage everybody to use it. And if you haven't had a chance to use ChatGPT, use Perplexity, use Gemini. These are incredible. Use Claude. These are incredible AIs. I use that every single day.
Yes, I would imagine you do. Just don't replace newscasters and journalists, please, Jensen.
You're in great shape. You're in great shape, Liz. We need you.
Thank you very much, Jensen. We appreciate it.